bad day for hip-hop, bad day for the culture, because it makes us all look bad.
After years of allegations and a recent FBI raid to Diddy's two homes, it finally looks like the bad boy mogul's getting what's coming to him. But will Diddy really spend the rest of his life behind bars? Spoiler alert, dog, don't drop the soap too much. You starting to wear all them boys out in prison. You know, you can have them inmates in there straight complaining.
It's been 5 weeks since federal authorities raided Diddy's properties in L.A. and Miami as part of a sex trafficking investigation.
All right, now the music mogul has filed a motion to dismiss some claims in a sexual assault lawsuit. Fox 5's Lisa Evers is here now with the latest. Lisa.
Well, Stephen, Natasha, Diddy is now fighting back against some of the allegations in one of the sexual assault lawsuits filed against him. While he maintains his innocence, a double felony drug case against his personal assistant moves forward. All of this comes as a new TMZ documentary reveals support for Diddy coming from an unlikely ally. Attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs filed a motion to throw out some of the claims made by Joy Dickerson Neal in her Manhattan State Supreme Court civil case because they weren't on the books at the time. She alleges in 1991, Sean Diddy Combs drugged her, then sexually assaulted her. In the suit, she says he videotaped and distributed it.
With regards to some of the older claims, what his filing is ultimately noting is that some of these laws weren't even in effect or applicable either at the time of the alleged offense.
Hamilton tells me the strategy is clear.
Any claim that you can potentially get dismissed is less that you have to fight later. And right now, Diddy has a lot. He's a criminal defense attorney. I would certainly say that 5 weeks in the span of a federal investigation it is nothing in many respects. I mean, you have these investigations that at times go on for 2 years. The question becomes, are those charges at some later point going to be tied in to any other potential investigation that's going on? Or are those charges and that plea going to be used to leverage cooperation?
You know what? By the looks of things, it's going to be super hard for Diddy to find his way out of this mess that he's in right now. Now, 2 lawsuits and endless witnesses have made it harder for the rapper to try and claim that he's innocent. But hey, that ain't stopped the dude.
I apologize to anyone this video may be embarrassing to. Let's just jump right into it. Some of you may know me or may not. I'm a music producer who's a writer and musician. Different genres. I started in the gospel and jazz and R&B and worked my way over to the hip hop side. I've been working on an album. I took a year off straight working on this album. That album is the Love album, Off the Grid by Diddy. And it's Grammy nominated right now as we speak. I should be celebrating, but the truth is I'm not.
From trying, has it? So while he was trying to settle his ex-girlfriend Cassie's lawsuit against him for, domestic violence, sexual abuse, and sexual trafficking and everything, using his money and power to cover it all up, I bet you he didn't see it coming that he was going to get hit with another raid.
What they're probably looking for is any evidence that they can gather, certainly any images, pictures, video, anything online. I've no doubt that they're going in and gathering up any electronic media to include any laptops, any flash drives, anything that he might have that might support whatever allegations, whatever reasonable suspicion that they have that led to this these search warrants. Just to get a search warrant like this requires a certain substantial legal barrier has to be, or legal argument or legal litmus test has to be met just to get them to sign off. Particularly knowing with somebody with means like this, that if they go into their home, they're going to be met with some very capable lawyers on the defendant's part to challenge what was ever done. And everything they do there is going to be
lawsuit right after. And now that the FBI done raided Diddy's homes upside down, it's pretty obvious that they found some serious evidence, all the dirty secrets the rapper's been hiding.
The grand jury has been put together. According to TISA, at least one of Diddy's FO victims has testified in front of the grand jury. There will be a federal trial. So here is where it's getting dangerous. Guess who's going after him? The Southern District of New York. don't know anything about these people, they don't play. The Southern District of New York also boasts a shockingly high conviction rate across the board. Over 95% of all criminal cases result in a plea of guilty. Guys, Diddy's arrest is imminent, so it's within 30 days according to TISA's sources, or in the least amount of time, 10 days. So allegedly he's supposed to be indicted on X and rug trafficking charges and wire fraud. TISA even alleges that he was laundering money for, how she said it, the cartel? The CARTEL people. She also said it's been 10 years of collecting evidence in the making. And I did hear that somewhere before, that it's been 10 years. So Diddy's been on the radar. They just didn't have nobody saying anything. But when Cassie came out, TISA also brought up a very good point. She said that the people that are not speaking out is because there's 250 cameras that was in Diddy's house. Trust and believe me, people are covering their hides, and some of these people probably gonna try to throw Diddy to the wolves. You had one
for years. Now, rumors got it that the grand jury for Diddy's trial has already been decided, and the case is definitely headed to court. But the big question is, with all the allegations against Puffy stacking up, how long is that process?
Sean Diddy Combs has filed a motion to dismiss some claims in a sexual assault lawsuit. He argues he cannot be sued for some of the allegations because they were not under any statutes when the alleged incident occurred. Some of the claims he wants tossed out are revenge porn and human trafficking. The alleged acts occurred in 1991. New York did not have a revenge porn law until 2019, and the human trafficking law went into effect in 2007. Joy Dickerson Deal accuses Combs of sexually assaulting her when she was 19 and sharing a videotape of it with music industry friends.
Process really gonna take. And you know, while Puff's trying his best to weasel his way out of all this nonsense, it's pretty evident that his old tactics aren't working. Everybody knows what Diddy's done, and the people aren't gonna rest it.
Death Row executive Suge Knight serving time for a fatal hit and run is warning the Brother Love handle won't fly in prison.
I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger because you know the secrets, who's involved in that little secret room you guys participating in. So, you know they're going to get you if they can.
Former federal prosecutor Katie Cherkasky joins me now. Katie, do you think Diddy's going to get subpoenaed individually pretty soon?
I think the walls are absolutely
until justice is served. Now, apparently, the evidence found by the feds includes a bunch of blackmail tapes and digital files that Diddy keeps to make sure that the people around him don't step a toe out of line.
Trafficking. Bruh, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that because back then he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now and that he has shown by being Brother Love, I couldn't imagine that the police would be raiding him for sex trafficking? Nah, bruh. I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him back then. He's a totally different person that he became. If you've seen him on other platforms, you know, inviting men to party with him, inviting men to go shopping with him. You understand? That wasn't Puffy. That wasn't Diddy. That was Brother Love and Love.
The news was confirmed by Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal, who revealed that the rapper would throw massive parties at his house where he would drug celebrities, politicians, and athletes. Why? Because he wanted to film them getting their dirty, nasty little freaks on. That's why. Now, how sick is this dude?
Derek, my style right here, yo. I'm coming out of party with us. You're always working.
I'm coming to party.
Come party, Derek. 24 hours, come party with us.
The Crystal.
What's up, boy? Since you went with Puff Daddy, how many motherfucking countries you been to, boy?
About like 50 in like a year.
Yeah. Hey, yo, we about to tear that bitch down historic style. London, turn up! How's everybody doing tonight? In the theme of Empire, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy birthday, James. Happy birthday.
Diddy was always throwing these parties that he called freak-offs, where he would encourage everybody to get wasted and get them involved in all kinds of messed up stuff, even forcing them to get intimate with prostitutes without their consent.
Feds just raided Puff Daddy's compounds. And one thing we know, when the feds raid your compound, they're not just looking for you. Very often they're looking for the stuff that you got. Remember when the feds raided the Epstein compound and then all of Epstein's tapes just went missing? Remember, Jeffrey Epstein had cameras, microphones all over his house. He had all these celebrities and politicians and members of the royal family on tape doing weird sex stuff. And then the tapes went missing. We've never seen any of them. Almost as if the feds were not trying to prosecute people for committing crimes, but protect the people who were videotaped having committed the crimes. Well, here we might have the same thing. Some people are saying that P. Diddy is the new Jeffrey Epstein.
But if you take a look at Diddy's past, it ain't that shocking. Now, the rapper's always wanted to be the most powerful man in the room. And what better weapon to use than blackmail to exert power over everybody else in the industry?
Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are asking a New York court to throw out portions of a civil suit that accuses the singer of sexual assault and revenge porn. The motion filed Friday raises procedural issues with the suit filed last year by Joy Dickerson-Neal. She is claiming that Combs drugged her, then sexually assaulted her while she was a college student back in 1991. Dickerson-Neal appeared in a music video with Combs around that same time, but Combs is denying that this happened, saying that she's simply trying to get money from him.
Now, if y'all really look at it, Diddy's allegations ain't too different from Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, not only did he film people having, sexual activities without their consent and whatnot, but Diddy's also alleged to have run a child trafficking ring too.
So I want to get into this real quick, man, before we really even get started into this. And it's because something I seen today. This girl, Tiffany Red, she said that she was filing a claim against Diddy, but it touched me crazy, man, because the hurt that I seen in her voice, in her she crying, man, and she worrying about what this dude could do to her and what he has done to her. Man, listen here. I want to let this young lady know, and I know this is not the place for it, brother, but please allow me to say this to her, man. You know what I'm saying? I started this battle long time ago. And the situation is that, bruh, we already won. This was some spiritual that Pac, the spirit of Pac, the spirit of Big, the spirit of Miss Jones, the spirit of Wolf, all the people that he has done wrong, so Black, all the people that he has done wrong, bruh, is coming to light. We already won this spiritual. What we going through right now with these trials and everybody, with this financial situation and everything like that, all that is superficial. That's the physical part of it. The spiritual part of it was won because Big, Pac, Wolf Mother, all the people that he did wrong, bruh, you understand? They already won the battle where we were supposed to win it at. So now we just going through the physical part of it, man. And I want that girl to know, man, that she ain't got to fear no man. She ain't got to fear him, nobody else, man. Whenever she needs, you understand? Whenever she needs somebody to travel, to go with her, to make sure she all right, I'm a phone call away, man. I'm a phone call away. And go ahead with your questioning, man. I just had to get that out, man, because that girl touched a lot of people, man, because all she wanted to do was write music, make music, and show her talent and her love to the people, man. And then she got to feel this way, be fearful and scared of her life and stuff like that. Ma, I ain't scared of no man. You understand? I ain't scared of no man. Nobody that got to put their pants on the same way I do. Not at all.
And the worst part about all this is the fact that the rapper refuses to take any accountability, despite several witnesses confirming the allegations.
And you got to look at that interview that Jonathan Odie did, bro. He said,
the hip-hop agenda is to move drugs all over the United States. They move all the dope in private jets inside the United States, okay? They move what's called high-grade powder MDMA. They move coke, and they move liquid cocaine in the bottles too. I've seen the liquid cocaine, I've drank it myself, having sex with Diddy and Cassie.
That was more damaging than Cassie. The DEA wasn't involved in this. It was the FBI and the Homeland Security, basically. That's because of the sex trafficking thing. But if they find any of that stuff in any one of his houses, there's a problem. Even if they find illegal guns, if they find any kind of drug, a high amount, cocaine and weed, I don't think Diddy gonna get charged because what he did, he put everything in his kid's name and his company.
Now, Diddy's former bodyguard's been vocal about the rapper's crimes for years now, from domestic violence to even murder. Now, Gene believes that the investigation against Diddy's gonna uncover some of the nastiest truths of the hip-hop world.
Wasn't Puffy interested in working with you also?
Yeah, Puff, I was running around with Puff for a minute, but we was just partying, man. Puff liked to party. So that's basically all we did. I think the few times I was running around with D-Mac and Puff, we just did a bunch of partying. We might have went to the studio once or twice, but I didn't get to record nothing. I was just,
Okay, but I mean, Puffy was a huge deal back then.
Still a huge deal.
I mean, he's still a huge deal, but he's not doing music anymore.
Right.
He's running around with you, and Puffy's a busy guy.
I was running around with him.
Yeah.
Nah, Puff he wanted to sign me. He just, he was moving around. Like he had the restaurant Justin's in Atlanta, so we was in and out of that. A lot of parties in Atlanta with him. And then when I told Puff, I was like, yo, Dre is interested in signing me. He was like, go ahead, Playboy. That's where you belong anyway. He was like, man, he was like, that makes sense. And contractually, I didn't have nothing with Diddy anyway. It was always, I could whenever we slow down.
And that's not to mention about how Diddy sexually exploited just about any new artist who signed with Bad Boy Records. It was almost as if the rappers started his label to take advantage of innocent young people who believed that he was their mentor.
But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. They have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia.
Now, lots of artists to come forward with their accounts of Diddy sleeping with men who would let him have their way with them because they was too afraid of his reaction to them saying no. I mean, how far would you be willing to go for a career in rap? Because I draw the line at sticky butt cheeks.
Then you hear about the fact that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht?
Wow, I ain't hear about that.
He broke Kim, let's say allegedly, but it was told by people in her camp that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht.
Now, what's even stranger is the fact that almost everybody associated with Bad Boy Records is now dead. Everybody except for Diddy. And that's also raised a bunch of questions about the mysterious passing away of his former partner, Kim Porter. Now, speaking of Kim, it was an open secret in the hip-hop world about how Diddy treated her, and the rumors was later confirmed when Cassie came out with her own details of Diddy's abuse.
So me quitting after 1 album, it didn't take long for me to figure it out. Like,
I'm not going to be here with this. I don't care who's here because you're not paying me and you're not respecting me. And that's the real problem.
All right.
And that's just the beginning.
All right,
Then there's people that try to do bodily harm with me. They will be in the house with Puff. So I'm like, it's a funny game y'all playing behind the scenes. So when people see me, they just see me turned up. They just see me agitated. They just see me aggressive, but they don't know.
But his partners weren't the only ones Diddy done did dirty. Even as a record producer, Diddy was unfair to most of the people under his label, taking a huge chunk of their money and never giving them their due share.
Red says although she did not know about the alleged physical assault while working with Cassie, she did witness verbal abuse on more than one occasion, one of which took place during Cassie's 29th birthday in 2015. Red says Diddy showed up at karaoke, where Cassie and a group of friends were celebrating.
So he had her backed into the corner, and he was like cussing her out with his hand in her face.
Later that night, Red, who was staying at Cassie's home, says she awoke to screaming.
He's standing in the living room area, and she's there. And he was like, emotional singing, bitch. There you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember looking in his eyes, and I said to him, what did y'all do? Because I could see that she was really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her high before. And then he says, tell your girl she wants some birthday. And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me, and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. He was upset, I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know. I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. I realized, oh, this guy is
her will.
What did Cassie tell you about these freak offs?
That he would hire these sex workers, and they would have sex with her or whatever, and he would watch and tell them what to do.
In her lawsuit, Cassie alleges she was forced to participate in freak-offs throughout her relationship with Diddy. Red learning recently one horrific detail from Cassie.
She told me the only time he was willing to do anything or work on her music, go through any plans, any of that, was when she had a freak off. So all of our music, all my work, to find out that I spent all these years writing these songs for him to rape my friend to, is just disgusting.
In the lawsuit, Cassie detailed the physical abuse she says Diddy committed, including an instance where she was put in a hotel room for days to heal. Red says Cassie recently told her about Diddy giving her a black eye before the premiere of her 2016 film, The Perfect Match.
I remember one time her telling me that, I think it might have been The Perfect Match, that movie that she was in, and she told me that she had a black eye under her makeup.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes, I do.
Why?
I mean, look at his record.
But naturally, despite all these witnesses to Diddy's crimes, ain't nobody really able to come forward and say anything bad about the dude. Until now, after the Pandora's box is finally spilled over. It probably helps a ton that a lot of those tapes is already in Fed possession, so he can't turn them over to the public.